Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy WattsTV, man, and today we have yet another Stevie Night video to react to. So he posted this 21 hours ago, and it is entitled, "I'm a sellout to black people with a question mark." This is so interesting at this point because honestly, I just feel like he's going on like a downward spiral. So I really cannot wait to see what he has to say about being a sellout to black people, because I have a lot to say about it myself. But before we get into it, please do me a favor. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. It really helps out with the channel. Lets me know that you are rocking with the content. Guys, please make sure that you continue to subscribe. Shout out to all the new subscribers that have been pulling up lately. I really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot. Make sure you keep subscribing. I want to hit 20,000 subscribers by December, so make sure that you run it up. Also make sure that you follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/watts_TV94. Make sure that you join the Discord, and make sure that you subscribe to the gaming channel. I have a link to all those in the description down below. Without further ado, let's just get into the video.
All right, so what we got boot liquor, we got coconut, we got Uncle Tom.
Coconut? What does that one mean? Somebody in the comments let me know. I've never heard of a black person being called a coconut before. That's a new one.
Sellout is funny. That's an interesting one. That's one I got to get back to. Yeah, man. You know, as of this whole Kirk situation, bro, these labels have been flying at your boy. And
I wonder why.
It's not something I'm new to, bro, because when you have, I guess, more conservative takes, and I hate even putting that label on things, man, but, you know, perception is reality, man. If you saying something that aligns with certain ways and certain eyes, they put you in this box.
Yes. That's how that works. Yeah.
Right. And, you know, black man with more of a conservative take on things, the black culture is going to despise. I mean, your boy done got death threats from strangers.
You know, hold on, time out. You know, I will actually disagree with that. I would disagree with that. I do not mind when someone has conservative takes. For me personally, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, it only becomes a problem for me is when you start to shit on your own community, basically. Like, you and I, we can still have conversations. I can still be civil with you if you tell me, yeah, I'm a conservative because, you know, I'm pro-life and I think marriage should just be between a man and a woman. I may disagree, but I'm not going to look at you crazy for that. I'm gonna just be like, okay, that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that. It's not the fact that you are conservative.
Changes, bro. Like, it's like that, bro. That's a whole different conversation, man. But like, it ain't even the words, the labels, like the name calling that bother me. It's what it means at the core is my issue, man. You know what I mean? Because when I get those labels tossed at me, I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know that there's no talking to them.
Oh my God. Okay, so here we go again, right? So this is a part of the issue, and I think I briefly mentioned this last time. So here's one of my big issues with Stevie. He keeps saying there's no talking to them, but have you ever asked yourself why these people are calling you these names? No, you keep writing them off instead of just asking, like, damn, why are you guys calling me an Uncle Tom? Why are you calling me a trash panda? Instead of asking those important questions, you just write them off and say there's no talking to them. There's no talking to them, which I find insane. Of course you should talk to them. Like, bro, if somebody called me a trash panda, I would be so curious as to how they got to that conclusion, because I haven't done anything per se to get that title. So I would ask, why are you calling me this? What did I do in order for you to give me this title? And depending on the response, I may have to take a look into my content and just have a look within. But that's just me, I guess.
Like, if you come to the point to, you know, label someone, and I know what that means in the black community too, bro. It's like, you know, if you black, being called a coon or Uncle Tom, bootlicker or whatever, it's like the worst thing ever, because they're pretty much saying you ain't black.
That's not what that means, though, actually. Calling a black person a trash panda does not mean that they are not black. To put it simply, it just means that you're betraying your own people in some way, shape, or form. That's not what being labeled a trash panda or an Uncle Tom means. I don't know where he got that.
And just that, like, just on that alone, what that stands for, it's like thinking black people need to be a monolith. Like all black people need to look the same and feel the same and view things the same.
But I can make the same argument that you think that people should think more like you. You think you are on the right side of history. You think you are thinking correctly.
That's a whole nother problem in itself, man. The reality of the situation is that black people are not a monolith. And y'all want black people to be a monolith, bro.
No. I don't want black people to be a monolith. No, I really don't. I just don't want black people to betray their own people. That's all I want.
That's not it. And it's racist, bro. It's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? Regardless of what it is that I'm saying, for people to view me and judge me on what I'm saying based on my skin tone.
Let me put this into perspective. You have been defending a man, yes, that unfortunately passed away, that didn't deserve it, but you have been defending a man that has degraded the black community, that has lied about the black community, and you literally defend every word that he says. That's why people call you a trash panda. Dog, after Charlie Kirk died, there were several bomb threats placed upon like HBCU campuses when they didn't even have anything to do with it. So when you covered those two conservatives that went to an HBCU to debate and they got ran off because they had on MAGA hats and they were trying to debate these students and basically trying to get clips out of it, you called those black students demons and you said there was no talking to them. Yeah, in my eyes, you are a trash panda. Because I'm sorry, if something just happened where somebody got shot in the neck and then multiple HBCUs are getting bomb threats, and then you see somebody with a MAGA hat on your campus that's trying to debate, how the do you really expect for them to behave? How do you expect for them to act? You expect for them to have some sort of civil conversation, but no, you instead call them demons. Yeah, you are, trash panda. I want to say it so bad, bro. And one more thing. Black people calling you a trash panda, it's not necessarily racist. It all depends on context, something that you know absolutely nothing about because you don't even understand what it means to be taken out of context. Racism involves systemic power and prejudice against a group as a whole. You can make the argument that a black person calling you a trash panda is derogatory and offensive, but for you to say someone is being racist because they called you that, I actually disagree. And don't get me wrong, I know that word has a lot of historical baggage. I completely understand. But when people call you that, they're not being racist. It is a derogatory label, though.
It's racist. And personally, for me, dog, like the amount of racism.
If it was a white person, then it'd be racist. But
I've ever experienced ever in life is, especially now, I know for sure this is the most amount of racism I've personally experienced throughout my entire life. Right from the flooding of it, man. Well, it makes sense though, because I got a lot of eyes on me. That shit brings out the demons for real, for real. You know what I mean? And I've had my racist experiences throughout my life, trust me. But those situations were based on like more of one-on-one encounters or things that I thought may have been happening that could have been due to racism, things I couldn't necessarily prove, you know what I'm saying? But I'm from Georgia, bro. Went to school in down south Georgia, bro. You know what I'm saying? Had cotton fields next to my college, bro. Like the slave trade went through where my college was, man. So, and I don't know how it is now, but back then, bro, racism was still alive and thriving, boy. And I used to live from the lens of the people that, you know, despised me so much from my perspective, man. It's definitely an interesting position to be in, man. But it bothers me to see such a large sect of black folks act this way, but I get it.
Do you though? Because you said there's no talking to them, and you said the fact that it's such a large sector of black people feeling this way, and the fact that they're calling me this, and it's the fact that you're not asking why is so fucking insane to me.
I understand it because I used to live that life, right? There was things that triggered me to place people in a certain box and despise them because of what I thought they owned or what I thought they believed in, man. It wasn't that long ago where I had my YouTube, bro. I told Tatum this. I think I may have told him in an interview, man, but I used to despise, well, not to this extent, bro, because y'all motherfuckers is crazy.
You bringing up the biggest trash panda out of the crew is not going to help anything in this situation, my guy. Anything. Officer Tatum, Mr. Rosa Parks had a car. You want to bring him up?
I don't talk about y'all motherfuckers is wild. But there was a point where before I had this transition of perspective and I was more of a liberal. I can't even say I was more of a liberal, bro. I always have conservative values, man. But as far as the race element and the black power element and the victim mindset, I was.
Why is it that people associate being a liberal with being a victim? Guys, I am a liberal, and by the way, I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed to put myself with that group. I am a liberal, and don't get me wrong, I don't agree with everything that liberals say, but I would say that I am a liberal. But I just want to know, why the fuck is it that people link the two? If you're a liberal, you have a victim mindset. I don't have a victim mindset. I don't think that at all. Like, I really don't understand this. Like, and one of the reasons as to why I consider myself a liberal and why I am a liberal is because because I have empathy, honestly. Like, in my opinion, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me if you want. That's fine. But I consider myself to be a liberal because I have empathy. Like, and that is the political party, in my opinion, that shows a little more empathy than the right. That's just my opinion. And I'm not saying that they're perfect, not by a long shot. That's just my opinion.
Thoroughly immersed in it. That was my perspective, man. And anything that went against the way that I viewed the world, I deemed the devil. You know what I'm saying? And there was once upon a time.
See,
maybe it was 2025, maybe like 4 years ago. I forgot when my journey started, bro. But I used to look at Officer Tatum the way that y'all look at me. Like, man, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? So I understand where all that heat comes from, bro. And I remember having a conversation.
Okay, so I would want to know, why did you feel that way about Officer Tatum, though, and what changed? I would love to hear that, but I know he's not going to go that deep into it, but I would love to know.
With someone, I'm not going to tell the fucking name, man, but I remember when I was first starting to receive backlash from the black community, being called coon and bootlicker and a sellout and this, that, and the third, man. And it was bothering me much more because I hadn't got the thick skin yet. But at the same time, I was empathetic. And I'm still empathetic for those that view me that way because I used to live in those shoes, man. But
you contradicted yourself. You said there's no talking to those people. You said there's no talking to them. Why are you constantly contradicting yourself?
Like, the name calling that bothered me is what it means at the core is my issue, man. You know what I mean? Because when I get those labels tossed at me, I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know that there's no talking to them. I remember having a conversation with someone that had more of a conservative outlook and had, unplugged himself from the black victim box.
Christ,
I was like, man, what can we do to get more black folks to understand our perspective, right? And bro was like, man, you can't, dog. I did it. I used to live that life. I was on the same shit you was on, trying to.
Time out. You want you want more black people to understand your mindset, but at the same time, you are saying there's no talking to the other side. If you are not willing to talk to the other side, why the do you think the other side is gonna want to talk to you? What are you talking about right now? What? I hate every time I watch one of these niggas' videos, I feel dumber.
Save everybody, bro, but you can't save them, bro. They have to go through it themselves because there's nothing you can tell them to make them feel otherwise, man. And I put myself in them shoes too, like how I was back then. There was nothing anybody could have told me or shown me to make me break from the perspective that I had. right? Because that was years and years and years of brainwashing and indoctrination and
Brainwashing is
I don't even like
crazy.
using them words, bro, because that might trigger y'all. I'm not trying to trigger the people that I'm trying to talk to, man. But like growing up in a Democratic family, more liberal family, more victim mindset
Oh
family,
my
but that may
God.
trigger y'all, man. But what it is, I can't think of any other fucking words outside of what it actually is, man. But like I grew up in that, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking at Republicans a certain way, looking at white people a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Always thinking somebody out to get you. Always thinking brothers is down or whatever. I lived.
See, and I don't think people are constantly out to get me. I do think there are isolated incidents that could be viewed as racist, sure, but I don't think people are out to get me. I don't think the white man is personally holding me down. I know that that's not the case like across the board, but for me personally, I don't feel that way.
That fucking life, man. And then when you going through it, submerged in it, like you born into, it's like a religion. I mean, it is a religion, bro. That perspective is a religion, dog. There's nothing anybody can tell you to remove you from.
A religion is crazy. Okay? Especially if you I don't know, to be fair, I don't know if Stevie considered himself to be MAGA, but that is damn near a cult. I'm not even gonna say damn near. It is a cult. Are you kidding me? How can you say that about the left, but not say that about the right? What are you talking about? I would argue, and this is bias. This is biases aside. The right looks way more like a cult than the left. In my opinion, the left is disjointed. A lot of people on the right seem to be on the same page. The left is the party that seems to be very disjointed. So how the does it seem like a religion?
Because you've identified that. You've identified with, the black struggle and what we went through back in the day, and it just poured into you, like, Jim Crow and slavery and
Jesus, bro.
and reparations and MLK and civil rights and all this, man. It's like you're programmed to wear this stuff like it's armor, like badges of honor, but in the meantime, it's like me and hell, the majority of my close ones have not gone through anything remotely close to what our ancestors has gone through, bro. But we wear it, we live it, we learn.
Just because we haven't gone through what our ancestors have gone through, that doesn't mean that it isn't happening to this day. Just because things, and no, I don't mean slavery. I just mean like racism and prejudice. Just because something is not happening to you, it doesn't mean it's not happening to other people within the community.
Learn it, we're submerged into it, so it's impossible to pull you out, and there's no way you can talk somebody out of that. And I remember talking to this person, he's like, man, there's nothing you can tell them. It's like talking to a wall, and it is. But
just like how talking to you is like talking to a wall. You just said there's no talking to the other side, but you want people to hear you.
It bothers the hell out of me,
bro,
knowing that fact now, because that's really what is keeping everybody down. That's what's keeping the entire black community down, is that mindset, that perspective, because we still live under that cap, under that box. You know what I mean? And there's nothing anybody can tell us, show us, do to us to make us think otherwise. Some of y'all may be curious about my journey, how I.
And you know what? I hate these political conversations. I really do, because this man is saying a bunch of nothing right now. Because right now he's saying that basically we're all, for a lack of better words, right? We're all in the matrix. We're all brainwashed. He did use the word brainwashed. We're all brainwashed right now. And the right, the right is the political party of salvation. But he's not explaining why. If I were to give you guys a small reason as to why I personally would not be able to vote Republican, the first thing that comes to mind are cuts or proposed cuts in public health, in Medicaid, and safety net programs. I cannot vote for that, dog. A lot of people depend on this shit, and you just simply want to get rid of it. And if you, like I said, if you guys want to disagree with me, that's totally fine. But this has nothing to do with having a victim mindset or just voting Democrat because I am black. No, that's why I hate these conversations, because no one wants to bring up policies. They always go to, yeah, you're brainwashed. You're only voting Democrat because you're black. No, that's not the case. Well, not for me personally.
got to where I am right now. That's a whole different video, but I've said it countless times. It was YouTube and just the flooding of different perspectives and ideas and people I've talked to that broke that barrier down for me so I could actually look at the world for what it is. And once I got out, man, I was so embarrassed about how I used to be. You know what I'm saying? How weak I looked, bruh. Talking to homies, like people that aren't black, that would never confront me about how weak I looked to them when I was living in that black box. But now that I'm out and I've talked to people that are aware of what's going on and how this whole mind state is keeping the black community down.
If you're going to say that, at least explain how. Explain why. Why do you feel that way? You just saying that isn't doing shit for anybody. Explain yourself.
That they're victim to, that they fail to see beyond. And he's like, man, I've talked to a handful of people. It's like, bro, like you way too smart. You got too much to offer. Like, why would you allow something like that to hold you down? But and I'm thinking about how I was back then. Like,
goddamn, was he a goddamn liberal or a crackhead? Like, he's talking like his political affiliation was a hindrance on his life. I mean, maybe that's truly what he thinks, but he's talking about it like it was cracking and he couldn't kick it and he was doing hard drugs. Like, goddamn.
Never even entertain a conversation like that, bro, because I'd have too much pride and ego about what I believe my struggle to be. Like, what the fuck you talking to me about that? Like, you can't talk to me about my struggle. You can't talk to me about what it is to being black. But they really can, because they knew what I was capable of. They knew what was holding me back. You know what I mean? They knew I was a victim to propaganda and the culture and things of that nature, man. But if you're not even able to talk to others about things, period, then how can you ever grow? How could you ever?
What the didn't Abba literally bring this point up in the debate? Am I in the Twilight Zone? And I'm gonna say this one more time. How do you expect for people to talk to you when you are not willing to talk to them? That's a genuine question.
Progress, and that is what's keeping a lot of us held down, man. That our inability to even communicate or have discourse with
Jesus, others. It's you. He's literally describing himself. What the fuck are we talking about? It's you. Chat. I said chat like I'm on live. Jesus Christ. Guys, everybody in the comments. Stevie is literally talking about himself. What the what's going on?
An opposing view besides our own. Because our struggle is what it is. Ain't shit you can tell me about what I'm going through or what it is to be black and how we getting held down. But there's lots of things people can tell you. And a lot of people told me shit.
Wow.
Did my own research, had my own journey, and this is still a journey that I'm still having to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I wish everyone that's black would be just open to it. You ain't got to agree with it. Just have that conversation and not just demonize someone for having a different opinion than you. You know what I mean? Because ironically enough, people call me especially a sellout, bro. Like, it's ironic, bro, because if anybody's selling out, it's the ones that's attacking me. Because
how do you figure?
Selling the community out to remain standstill. If anything is outside of y'all's realm of thinking, if anything is outside of what you believe to be right, you demonize, you attack.
He's talking about himself again. He does this. He does this to people. When he talks about liberals, you literally you do the thing that you're talking about. I really feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
And that cuts your legs from up under you. You can't grow. You can't see outside yourself.
What the
when you're able to have a conversation with someone that has an opposing perspective than you, a different perspective than you. Like, the name calling that bothered me is what it means at the core is my issue, man. You know what I mean? Because when I get those labels tossed at me, I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know that there's no talking to them. Bruh, you begin to lift the ceiling off.
What the fuck?
I call it the black struggle box. That's what I call it, bro. The black struggle box.
Oh, no.
Once you break all that shit down and see how much we are all alike, regardless of skin tone, regardless of demographic, regardless of geographic location, man, it changes the whole fucking world, man. It changes the whole fucking world, dog. But that's not the case.
Oh,
that's not the case. We got to put race on everything. We got to put race on everything. Tell you, this is what really.
A lot of the people that you align with do that. If we're talking about Charlie Kirk, everybody assumed that the shooter was black, was Muslim, anything but white. The side that you align with, y'all do that they do that on a daily.
It's on my nerves, bro. Especially with this whole Kirk situation. I've heard this so many times, bro. I've been called a sellout so many times because I've been covering the Kirk situation so much, bro. And people just make this assumption in their mind that, I'm covering Kirk, I'm selling out. I'm just trying to get the white views, get the white money. I'm selling out my own people.
Well,
that's a connection they've made. It's like, how limiting is that? I mean, how racist is that, first of all, to think that since I'm black, the only reason why I'm doing it is to get the white money.
No. I explained this in my last video as well. People are viewing you as a sellout, and I said this earlier in this video too, because Charlie Kirk would openly tell lies about the black community. He would demonize, like how you're saying, he would literally demonize the black community. This man said, and I quote, "Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people in urban communities." And this is the person that you're defending. This is the person that you're aligning with, right? So yeah, he's saying all of this, and you are covering Charlie Kirk ad nauseum, acting like he was such a saint. Look, in my opinion, Charlie Kirk was indeed a terrible person. Did that mean that he deserved to die? No, but he most definitely was a terrible person. So you are painting him to be this great guy, even though he talked so much shit about the community that you claim that you're a part of, and now you're just suddenly putting him on a pedestal. So yeah, that's why you look like a sellout. Also, again, I said this in my last video, I find it a little fishy that you never talked about Charlie Kirk before. You rarely talked about him, but now all of a sudden it's all you want to talk about. He's all you want to talk about. So not only do people view you as a sellout, some people also view you as disgusting because you're profiting off of a man's death. I said it.
It's racist again because since I'm black, I shouldn't be talking about this, period. It couldn't be that me, Stevie Knight, feel strongly about what happened to this person, regardless of his fucking skin tone, but everyone...
You don't feel strongly about anybody else? Do you feel strongly about the children that constantly get gunned down in our schools in this nation? Did you feel strongly about the guy that was lynched on an HBCU campus? So that's why people feel the way that they feel, because you don't feel this way about anybody else. But let this white man die that talks so poorly about the black community, and you're all up in arms. You were literally about to cry. Yeah, you look crazy, bro.
Everyone just keep putting skin color on it. It ain't got nothing to do with skin tone to me.
Which I find ironic because Charlie Kirk would constantly talk about race. So that's funny.
It was about someone using their rights of free speech to change the world, and his life was taken from him.
To change the world is so insane, bro. Get his... You know what? Let me not even say that. Let me not say that. Wow. Change the world is crazy.
Certain way, which was polar opposite of what his true intentions were, but people are going to believe what they want to believe. People are going to hear what they want to hear. Once people have it made up in their mind of how you are, how whomever is, there's nothing you can tell them or show them that's going to make them feel otherwise. One of the most difficult things to do is to change somebody's mind on anything, right? Even if you give them facts to change their mind.
This is coming from a person who came into a debate with zero facts, but all feelings. That is hilarious coming from you, Stevie. Wow.
Bro, but them facts ain't facting because I feel strongly about whatever this is, right? Which also is an indication of stupidity, right? Low intelligence, where you are given information that contradicts your information, which should make you feel differently, man. But when you're so emotionally attached to this, regardless of what anybody says, it don't matter.
He's still talking about himself. He doesn't. Oh my gosh. And it's so funny because he's talking about stupidity, but he doesn't even realize that he's being dumb himself. He's literally talking about himself because he went through this entire. Abba literally gave this man facts. He gave this man facts. And he wanted to feel how he felt. He's literally describing himself. Wow.
We see every day with the whole Kirk situation, man. You yourself can go and do the research and pull up videos in their entire context and have every gripe that you had with Kirk debunked. Whether he's racist, transphobic, Nazi, all this, bro. The information's out there. You gotta just do the research. But, you know, people that have been duped to believe these manufactured narratives.
Oh, this man is gone, chat. There is no hope for him.
And then once them dots are connected, bro, and you feel that this man's this way, there's nothing anybody can tell you about him. And there's nothing I can tell any of y'all about me that's gonna make y'all feel differently about me. I'm just bringing this up as my issue with the black community specifically, right? Because this is holding us all down, right? Like I wish I could give this mind state to everybody. Just have them entertain it, bro. It's world changing. It's world shifting, man. Before I'm just going through life with my ankles shackled and my hands cuffed behind my back, thinking that I'm winning. You know what I mean? But lifting that cap off and really seeing what's available to me in the world, from talking to people with different perspectives, opposing perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Doing my fucking research and shit.
I bet he thinks he sounds so profound right now. He probably think he's spitting, which is hilarious.
I'm able to fucking have a Usain Bolt stride out here now with life, man. Get to where I want to get quicker and faster, not have anything in my way, because I'm not so obsessed with race and think race is holding me down. Even where race is.
Do you think the majority of black people that live out here, do you think the majority of them think that race is necessarily holding them back from life? Because I don't know if I would fully agree with that. I don't know. And I mean, there's obviously no way to prove that, you know, what he's saying is wrong. But I've talked to a lot of people. I have friends that are black. I talk to a lot of people that are black. Our blackness really doesn't come up in a conversation. We don't talk about how the white man puts us down and all that other shit. Like, that usually doesn't happen. And yes, I know this is all anecdotal, but still.
It's technically holding anyone down, bro. Life is hard, man. Right? And, you know, people don't like hearing me say that. Life is hard, bro. But I'm a realist at the end of the day. I'm a realist at the end of the day, man. And you can only control what you can control, right? If I can't control it, then I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? In 2025, there's no excuse for anybody, for that matter, to be out here bitching and moaning about anything, right? We could make systems better, make them more efficient, make them smoother or whatnot, but ain't nothing out here worse to fuss. The ironic thing about it is that the grand scheme of things, the biggest thing holding black folks back is black folks. I don't care what white privilege you bring up or what systemic racism you can bring up, man, but don't nothing compare to how the black community holds the black community down. That's exemplified through what I've been talking about this whole time, because the black folks are holding black folks down by keeping themselves in this little black box, right? When all I'm saying is just have the conversation.
Right. This is really insane, because he's still talking about himself. Because don't you guys think that he may not be in a little black box, but he most definitely in a little white box for sure.
Right, just consider the conversation.
Just consider the
Just remove your heart from it for a minute and just have a conversation. Just be open.
Remove your heart from it. Coming from a never mind.
Like the name calling that bothered me is what it means at the core is my issue, man. You know what I mean? Because when I get those labels tossed at me, I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know that there's no talking to them.
I'm repeating myself.
Somebody asking you to change your mind, just asking you to listen, right? Not demonize, try not to be triggered by things that you are triggered by emotionally, man. When somebody says black people do this, You get triggered by hearing black people do this, but
Okay, so if it's wrong, what we just fucking sit there and take it? We're not supposed to respond. We're not supposed to say anything. So we're just supposed to allow a random white dude to say, "Oh yeah, prowling blacks cannot wait to attack white people." That's fucking racist, dog. And it's a lie. So we're just supposed to sit there and listen. No, just like you, there's no talking to these people. There's no talking to them.
black people do this, right? It's a fact. You know what I mean? When it is a fact. You know what I'm saying? When it is a fact. I'm not talking about someone out here really on some bullshit trying to mischaracterize black people or demonize black people.
Charlie Kirk, the person that you constantly defend.
Talking about those just like Kirk, for example, when he says, no black folks commit the most crime. Regardless of what the situation is, the scenario is, the reasoning for it, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Black folks commit the most crime per capita, but people get triggered.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make him look stupid. He loves using ChatGPT, right? He loves using ChatGPT. So let's fucking use ChatGPT. Let's use it. So, I asked ChatGPT, do black people commit the most crimes per capita? Short answer, no. Black people do not commit the most crimes per capita across the board. What we can actually measure are arrest and victim reports, and both show a more complicated picture. You guys can pause to read the rest if you want, but there's a section here that says why this myth persists. Arrest stats are often used as a proxy for crime, but they're shaped by where police focus, who reports, and socioeconomic conditions. The best national measures, FBI, BJS, don't support the idea that one racial group commits the most crime per capita in any meaningful across-the-board sense. When Stevie does not believe that something is true, he will do his due diligence to try to look it up, whether it's Google, whether it's ChatGPT. If he doesn't believe it's true, he'll look it up. But if he believes something is actually true, he won't bother to actually look it up. So if his daddy Charlie Kirk said something, he's going to take it at face value without actually doing any research because he's stupid.
What you mean? Why you bringing that up? It's just a fact. So can we talk about why that
And
is?
he doesn't even look up the facts.
All right. I'm not trying to offend. I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm not trying to trigger you, man. Just why that is. And if we don't talk about it and get to the bottom of it, then how could we expect the shit to ever get better? Because as long as black people are committing the most crime, black people will remain to be victims of their circumstances.
Wow.
They'll remain to be products of their environment, right? But we can get to the bottom of it, fix things, you know what I'm saying? Have some self-awareness and accountability and control what you can control, bro. It would make matters much different. But if you're not even willing to have that conversation, then how could we ever progress, right? And then attack those that have differing opinions than you. How can we ever progress? You know what I mean?
This is unreal.
It's a very difficult task, damn near an impossible task, to try to help those who demonize you for trying to help them.
This is so
Because
unreal. Holy shit.
They see it as a sign of disrespect. They see it as a sign of selling out. They see it as a sign of treason.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean?
Treason?
It's crazy. Anyway, been rambling enough, dog. But yeah, this has been eye-opening, man. This has been very eye-opening, bro. Like, you know, out of all the clapback that I've gotten from the Kirk situation, and I've got it from all directions, no Diddy, the amount of animosity, vitriol, hate that I've gotten from my own black community by just having an opinion on Kirk or having the stances I have, dog, it's been crazy. So I can only imagine what they feel about fucking Kirk, dog. It's wild. When at the end of the day, my personal agenda, my personal motive is to empower black folks or provide a different perspective. Right? I ain't trying to empower because maybe some of y'all that don't consider that.
You know what? But even if this was the case, you would not be the one to provide a different perspective to black people because you don't know what you're talking about. In order to provide a different perspective, you would actually have to be knowledgeable of some shit. You would actually have to know some shit. Stevie, you don't know a goddamn thing. You don't know anything. This video was 19 minutes long and you haven't said shit. You haven't said anything.
Empowering to lift the fucking veil off, man, but just a different perspective. Right.
Also, why does he blink so goddamn hard all the time? Have y'all noticed that? Why you blink so goddamn hard? It's been pissing me off this whole video.
To lift the fucking veil off, man, but just a different perspective.
Why you always gotta blink so goddamn, nigga? I know you muscular, but stop blinking so goddamn hard.
All right, just a different perspective, dog. Just take it in consideration. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Anyway, thoughts.
God, I hope this is the last Stevie video that I react to for a while, because I feel dumber every time I finish one of these. Like, I'm not even kidding. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I know people are going to have some stuff to say, boy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Please let me know. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitch. And subscribe to the gaming channel. I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.